Hello again. I thought I'd come on here a few minutes early. It's like, I don't know, about 7 minutes until my tea should be done. Now, I'll tell y'all the recipe I used, or maybe I already have, but I'll tell you again. And of course, you can add, subtract, um, mess with the measurements, however you want to do it to get it to where it's tasteful to you. I put like a half a cup of chopped fresh ginger, um, 1 clove of garlic chopped up, uh, 2 bags of black tea unseasoned. It's just regular black tea. Um, I'm letting it all steep together. And then for an hour, you're supposed to do that for an hour. And in fact, they say that setting it in the refrigerator all night um, is even better. But right now, I'm just going to see if I like the taste of it. Um, and the actual recipe called for like uh, to make a gallon, so I just kind of adjusted it to my own, uh, per se, 2 cups of tea. I usually have my tea pretty strong, um, so I usually always put 2 bags in my tea, and sometimes I'll drink 2 cups, sometimes just one, whatever. But um, they also say that you can put your lemon in there. Um, if you're putting apple cider vinegar in your tea, this is the whole purpose of me making this tea is to get that apple cider vinegar down. Okay. So that's acidic all by itself. Hi, Lady Blind Wolf. Are you feeling better? That's really acidic all by itself. So I wouldn't put lemon in it. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I mean, if you have a stomach made of iron, metal, steel, it doesn't bother you, then go ahead. But I don't see the point in it because apple cider vinegar is going to overpower the taste of the lemon anyway, probably. I haven't ever tasted apple cider vinegar, but I'm about to. Uh, I haven't ever eaten fresh ginger. And this is where I'm always stressing y'all. It's okay. Hell, I was on here for 3 hours. I about went to sleep myself. But I uh this is why we stress about being allergic to stuff. Sometimes you don't know that you're allergic to it until you uh ingest it. Um I'm pretty sure I'm not allergic to anything that I'm making at the time because I have drank ginger tea before, not fresh ginger like this, but I have, bought ginger teas. Um, and I'm sure that I've eaten out in places that cooked with fresh ginger. But uh, most people, I haven't heard of any. I'm not saying no one because there's always someone. Most people are not allergic to apple cider vinegar, um, unless, of course, for some reason you're allergic to apples. I don't know, but you see the point I'm trying to make. Um, any ingredient that you put in that you haven't had before, you might ought to, you know, put a little bit on your skin and maybe touch a little bit to your tongue. Because some people are allergic internally, but not externally, and vice versa. And then some of them develop anaphylaxis, which is all the above, and it shuts down your airways. And anyway, just don't want anything that happening to y'all. So, like I always say, anything that I'll put on here. Make sure if you're allergic to it, please don't take it. Shouldn't have to tell people that. But now, as far as the sweetening part of it, I don't have any honey. I forgot to get honey the other day at the store. Well, I don't know, but that's just me. So this time I'm going to have to use regular sugar, but I'm going to use as little as possible. Because isn't that what we always do? We eat something healthy, but then we drown it in stuff that's bad, and it's no longer healthy, right? Like salads. A lot of people probably don't know this, but lettuce actually has no nutritional value at all whatsoever, except maybe the water it contains. It contains a whole lot of water. And it's good roughage, that you need for proper BMs. But as far as, some people will say that it's got a few of the, little bitty tiny bit of vitamin C, and I don't see how it's not a fruit. It's a vegetable, so if anything, you'd have I don't know. You can go into all that and research it if you want, but to me, there's not really any. But anyway, they'll make their salad, and then they'll put their cucumbers, whatever they put on it, their sesame seeds, their sunflower seeds, whatever they want to put on there, and then they put tons of salt and pepper and salad dressing. Right here, I'm bad about that. That right there just makes everything in that, it just kind of defeats your purpose. Salad dressing is horrible for you. Unless you use one that's olive oil based, or you make your own, like a vinaigrette or something like that. I am a ranch dressing eater, y'all. I like ranch dressing. I will put it on my French fries, and or I'll mix it with ketchup and dip my French fries in it, and I put it on everything. Which is something else I'm going to have to watch out for, because, it's full of cholesterol, I did find some, hey, I'll go get it. Now, I'm not saying this didn't exist, but I had never had it before. I never seen it before. Ran across it. It's mayo with olive oil. So I snatched it up because I love mayo. It's what I make my deviled eggs with, and what I put on my sandwiches and my cheeseburgers and blah, blah, blah. But the healthier you can get, the better foods you can get is of course better, So every little bitty bit helps. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do right quick, be patient with me. I'm going to go in. I got to go in there and strain that, because you put everything in there and you boil it all together, and then you're supposed to strain. Of course, you don't be drinking chunks of ginger and garlic, right? I don't know how this is going to taste. It's a dry run, so it's kind of like a little experiment at first. So I'll taste it, and we'll see. I would take y'all in there with me, but I have my laptop going, so I'm going to have to go in there and do it, and then I'll come back. I'll be right back. Sugar. kidding me? Oh, man. You don't tell me that little bitch came here and check my goddamn sugar. Kick her fucking ass. Swear to God. Oh, hell no. Where's my goddamn sugar? Oh, hell no. There ain't no way all that sugar's gone. Yes, there it is. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, so where is this? Get out of there. Come on. Move. Get out of there. Come on, move. In a hurry. Yes. Okay, guys. Okay, we're shaking up. Make sure we get the mother in there. It smells good. And I use that powdered creamer, which they say is extremely bad for you, but I don't drink so much of it that, uh, I don't like using fresh milk in there. I buy a thing of milk and I don't use it very often except to cook with, and then it ruins. So, of course, not around here it wouldn't. All right, guys, if I can see how to open this, we're going to get this boat on the water. Let me see. Y'all know my eyes. I can't see nothing in the world. I really can't see how to open this. Don't tell me. Ow, crap. There. Aha. Oh. I got stuff sitting there where I still got my. I'm trying to hurry so I don't take out. Okay, now You can use anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon to a half a teaspoon. This is all about experimenting to see what suits you. If you can get a tablespoon down a day, that's excellent. Okay, that's our goal. But right now, I'm just going to start out with a regular it's not a teaspoon, but it's not a tablespoon. So it's probably, I don't know, 1.5 teaspoons, something like that. Oh, y'all, I'm kind of afraid of this. I have never even tasted this stuff. Whew. Dang. Okay. And of course, I told y'all, get this kind. Has the mother down in it. You can see this stuff floating around. Shake it up real well. Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Here we go. Oh, of course, I've spilled half of it there. Dang. Sloppy, sloppy. All right. I don't know, you guys. I love vinegary stuff, but I have never, I drank a lot of pickle juice, like Carla was talking about last night. Okay, we're. Oh man, I don't know, y'all. And by the way, if you put honey in your teas, your hot teas, whew, boy, you can smell it. FYI, don't put it in your tea when your tea is extremely hot. I know that makes no sense, but if you do, it pretty much gets rid of all the wonderful stuff in honey. So you need to let it cool down just a little bit. I mean, it'll still melt, just don't have it right off the stove when it's still practically on fire. Uh, Wait just a little bit and then put your honey in there. Okay. I'm already psyched myself up too much, haven't I? Okay, here we go. Let's see. Oh my, I spilled this shit everywhere. Okay. All right. Be a big girl. Take my medicine. It's really not bad. I think I've got a little too much sugar. I put like 2 regular spoons of sugar in there. It's a little potent. I can really taste the ginger and the bite of the garlic. You know how garlic's a little hot. I'm telling you, don't ever bite into a clove of garlic. It smells good, it looks good, but oh my God, it'll burn your face off. And it's very bitter. You don't want to do that. I did it just to say I did and to try it, and it is no good. I don't know. It's not bad tasting though. I think next time I'll put just a little less ginger in it. Uh, it's not really bad. I wish it was hotter. It's kind of cooled off some. Because you got to let it steep. I brought it to all of it to, and then I let it set for an hour. But I really didn't have anything to strain it with, which you're supposed to, but I didn't get any of this stuff in here, so I can't find my little tea strainer. Or you can actually also use like a coffee filter, put it over there and strain it. But just for this dry run, this is supposed to be really good for everything in your body, guys. Digestion, all kinds of stuff. I mean, you just have to look up everything I put in here, and it's excellent for your digestive system. It supposedly creates peristalsis, which is, the act of your bowels moving around and to produce a BM. I think it would be definitely an acquired taste. The reason I chose to do it this way is I figured I'd get it down easier because I love hot tea. If you wanted to, you could put, say, get your 8-ounce bottle of water and put like a tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar in your water and shake it up real good and just drink it cold like that. You don't have to mix any other thing with it. And I may try that eventually too. Like I said, this is kind of like a little experiment. And to be honest with you, I'm not liking it a whole lot. Yeah, I think next time I'm going to put just a little less ginger in it. And a little less sugar. It's almost too sweet. That creamer in my tea, so maybe if I put a little bit of creamer in there. And it's also it's not warm anymore. Maybe I ought to put it in the microwave and heat it up some. What do y'all think? I don't know. I mean, it's not so bad that I couldn't force it down. But for right now, I'm just kind of going to sip on it. Mainly to see how my stomach may react to it. I'm one of those people that don't have a very good stomach. In fact, I have to take Prilosec every day. But if you do the research, people that have issues with ulcers and refluxes and stuff like that, it's actually because there's not enough acid in their stomach. I know that don't make any sense because the reflux is acid coming up, and you have these two little valves. One, when you breathe in, one will close. The one that goes to your stomach closes, and then the one that leads into your lungs opens, and vice versa when you swallow. Well, that one little valve that is supposed to, that leads to your stomach, it's supposed to shut all the way after you've swallowed, and when you have a reflux, it doesn't shut all the way. So that acid out of your stomach keeps coming up. And long-term effects of it could be pretty serious, could lead to a lot of throat issues. So used to, there was metoclopramide, or as you know, which is generic Reglan, that relaxed that smooth muscle and had that valve close all the way. But they've found that it causes stomach cancer. So it was on the market for years. I was on it for a long, long time. And now, I mean, even when I was still passing medications, we still had some people on it, but I was under the impression that it was the FDA had taken it off the market. But anyway, so I don't know, guys. It's just not very good. I mean, it's not the most horrible thing, but uh, you can, I don't know. It's not my favorite thing. And it could be the tea I used. I think it's the ginger, though. Um, I honestly think I just used a little too much ginger. But I'm just going to kind of sip on it to make sure my body doesn't, you know, I'm not allergic, and um, I'm not going to get sick. I have like I said, a very bad stomach, and it don't like certain things. McDonald's, no. No, no. Not on the diet. I'm just kidding. Eat whatever you want. I always say, and I will forever, it's not what you eat, it's how often you eat it and how much. I'm a firm believer in that. Like I said, yeah, you don't have to refrain from eating pizza. Just don't eat the whole pizza. Eat one piece. Oh, I don't know. I wonder if I put some creamer in this and heated it back up. It just don't taste very good. It may be better just to go ahead and just you're not ever supposed to like just take the teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar and just take it like that, because it is very acidic and you don't want to cause issues with your throat, your esophagus. Not on a diet. I just have to work out every day. That's actually a doctor's. Yeah. I have to work to get my leg muscles and stuff a lot better. Yeah. I know. I need to be doing something too. I just can't afford to go to no gym, you know, and you hear too many horror stories about people out just walking around in neighborhoods and stuff, between getting snatched up by some weirdo or getting attacked by, loose dogs, um, even in parks. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just too paranoid. But yeah, I don't know about this, you guys. I'm trying. I don't know. It's not the most horrible thing, but it's just like too much of something. But there's you can cook with this, saute your vegetables in it. Um, there's just hundreds and hundreds of things you can use this stuff for, inside your body, outside your body, in your house, on your pets. It is truly your all purpose liquid. Oh, yeah. See, we don't even have anything like that around here. I mean, I think we have one gym here, if it's even still open, and I don't even know what the cost is. No, I don't live in the best neighborhood, so but there pretty soon I'm going to get a swimsuit. I'll be able to go. Yeah. Now I like to swim. Um, it's really good for upper body strength, and it helps your breathing and um, stuff like that. Ugh, I don't know. Maybe this is mind over matter, but this is kind of yucky. I don't know. It's got a kick to it. I think next time I will put less ginger. Yeah. But I'm trying to get it down. Maybe if I put it in the microwave for a minute. They say not to microwave it because it takes, which everybody always has said that ever since the microwaves came out. And they figured, when you put your food in the microwave, it takes some of the nutritional value out of it. It microwaves it out, which is, I can see how. Um, but they did specifically say not to reheat it in the microwave, to reheat it, back in the pot and then pour it back in your. They have like all kinds of aerobic classes, yoga classes, cooking. See, that would be fun. I used to like to do aerobics. I'm so out of shape now, though. I don't, and with my lungs, I don't know. I guess if I worked at it and got better, that I would get used to it again. But yeah, well, do you have any of your herbs? Do you have eucalyptus? I got a crap ton of that, but it's out there packed. Or anything mentholatum-y, you can breathe in. Do you have tea? Can you make you some hot tea, no matter what kind it is or what you put in it? If you have honey, it would be even better. Honey's really good for that sort of thing. Full of antioxidants. Yeah, I don't know about this stuff, y'all. Yeah, I think next time I won't put as much ginger. Or I may just cook with my ginger and just drinking an 8-ounce bottle of water a day would not hurt me at all. In fact, it would be excellent. I just don't like water. And then I put the apple cider vinegar in there. 8 ounces is a lot to drink, Yeah, because I don't think I like this. It's not the worst thing. I don't know. I don't know. I pretty much don't have a lot, since we've been, yeah. Yeah, I know. See, and that's what I was talking about in my video last night. I think people want to eat healthy and do things that are healthy for them, but it's just too damn expensive. I mean, groceries right now are outrageous anyway. Even your generics have went up, much less, people wanting to use olive oil in their cooking. Olive oil is worth the money. It's extremely good for you. So many good benefits, but it's expensive. Yeah, going to have to get sugar. and such are pretty much out. The kids missed a whole week of work due to COVID. So, oh man. Yeah, that sucks. I know, man. I've sat here with no money for a long time. Um, and then on top of that, my phone is probably about to be shut off within a week because uh, I was doing okay just paying mine. But 4 years ago, I got my son a phone. Long story short, that phone was broken not too long after he got it. So, of course, I still had to keep paying for it till the phone was paid off, and that damn thing was $600 or so. And then, but I would call and have the phone suspended to where I just had to pay for the phone itself and not the use of it. Does that make sense? The actual bill for the phone, I just had to pay the cost of the phone each month. And anyway, now they've turned it back on, even though it hasn't worked in 4 years. 4 years. And raised my bill up to like $150 from and they charged me a reconnect fee when I didn't even ask for it to be connected. So that was another $30 charge. So now I can't pay my phone bill. And it doesn't do any good to call them and talk to them about it. And I only owed, I think, $16 left on that phone. Because, they charge around $9 a month. But, whatever. Little greedy fucks. I mean, I understand people need to pay their bill, but I've explained to them why do I have to pay for activation on a phone that it doesn't even exist anymore. Just, I get so tired of arguing with them every month. My bill is something different. It's never right. It's just insane. So now I'm not going to have a phone, which kind of screws up my stuff. That's how I stay in touch with family and stuff like that. And I have, job applications out. Nobody will be able to call me. Every summer I make tea with lemon, Lipton tea bags, and I throw in mugwort or chamomile and lavender. Oh, yeah. I haven't ever drank lavender tea. And mugwort, yeah, a lot of witches smoke mugwort and drink mugwort tea. And it's evidently really all those that you just mentioned, the mugwort, chamomile, and lavender, would seem like it'd make you really sleepy. That's a good sleepy time tea. Because mugwort kind of gives you that, not high like marijuana or anything like that, but it does kind of give you a light feeling. I don't know. That same person that I learned this from was talking about dandelion tea. So, I'd like to gather up some dandelions for all different reasons, just keep them, have them, wash them up real good. And I don't know how you would store them. I mean, you couldn't keep them very long. They'd go bad. They'd rot. I don't think you can freeze that sort of thing. I guess you could. I guess you can freeze anything. Like I was talking about that one year about making dandelion vinaigrette. It's considered a weed, but it's really good for you. Yeah, I don't know about this, guys. I think next time I'll just try to put down some water with the vinegar. I don't think I'm going to go through all this. This is torturing me. I can't put my pen. I think I just got it too sweet. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give up on it. But that's a trial run, you guys. I mean, like I said, it may be better just to go ahead and, and I put what I wouldn't consider this a teaspoon, but it's not a tablespoon. It's just your regular, spoon that you eat with every day. So it's probably a teaspoon and a half. But that's what I'm talking about. You can adjust it as you go to see what you can handle or what you can get down. I just wanted to use the maximum and get it over with. But it's pretty rough. I mean, I think in an 8-ounce, if you got you an 8-ounce bottle of water and put a tablespoon down in it, it wouldn't be near as overwhelming. But with the ginger's already really loud and, hey, I'm here type herb. And then you got your garlic and then that, and then your tea. I think I just overwhelmed it is what I did. I need to use a little less ginger. Ginger's good for you too, though. I mean, that's why I was trying to combine them all and get them all down at once because there's so many health benefits to ginger. I've got a humidifier. I mean, a dehydrator. Yeah. A few times, but if it's decent this weekend, I'm going to go and look for a bunch of places to pick dandelions up. Yeah. They say though, if like people put them on their salads, they're saying to wash them real good and use the flower and the stems, the whole dandelion. I'd take the leaves off. Those leaves are kind of hairy and sharp, and depending on when you harvest them, but I'd still take those extra leaves off. And people just chop them up raw and mix it in with their lettuce when they're making their salads. And you use the whole thing fresh. So I don't know, what would you use them for dried? Like to cook with, just mix in with stuff like an herb? Or do you have a specific thing that you use for them or use them for? Yeah. Oh God, that's horrible, y'all. Yeah, that experiment didn't go well. I mean, it's kind of gagged me, But I think it's just because I put too much of everything in there. But that's, what experiment's about. You learn, you adjust it. So tomorrow I may try something different. I guess I could go get me a case of bottled water. And or I don't even need bottled water. It's a waste of plastic, and they don't dispose of the bottles right at the dump sites, and just too much plastic in this world. So I may just get me a glass of water, an 8-ounce glass of water, and pour it in there. We'll see. Right now, I don't even want to look at it. It kind of made me a little, I don't know, a little bit nauseous. And y'all seen how much I drank of it. Not very much. I'm not saying it's bad. It's weird because it's not bad, but it's not good. I don't know. It's too sweet, but yet it's, I don't know. So we'll try it different tomorrow. Yeah, but always dilute it. And however you do if you choose to take the apple cider vinegar, always dilute it. It is way too acidic to just take a shot of it, okay? Or just pour it in a teaspoon and take it like cough syrup. Don't do it that way. It'll wear out the lining of your esophagus, and then you're going to have major issues. But yeah, I don't. Of course, anything goes good in my body, it's probably going, what the hell? It'll throw me into shock, probably. Knock on wood. I don't know. But yeah, that's not good. And I really haven't eaten anything. So I don't know if that matters. A lot of different factors with me, but my stomach is all kind of messed up anyway. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe next time I'll do it a little different. I'm going to really try hard to somehow or another get it down though, because it really, really has so many good benefits to it. I mean, if you do your own research on it, you'd be sitting at your computer for hours, because there's so many different opinions, recipes, things to mix it with, and all these different things that are good for you. And it's a rabbit hole that you could be in for days, along with everything else. I listen to all different opinions from different doctors, from different witches, from nutritionists. I really weigh out options before I ingest anything, but yeah, I'm not liking that very much. No. Maybe I should have put it with my chai tea or something that made it taste better, but I think I just got too much sugar in there, or too much of something. Something's overwhelming. And I could have left the garlic out, because I cook with garlic a lot. Almost everything I make, I've got onion powder and garlic powder, or fresh garlic or something like that in my food. I love garlic. So maybe I should have left that out. I don't know. Have you ever even tasted apple cider vinegar, Lady Blindwell? It's really not that bad. I think it's everything all mixed together like that was just kind of overpowering. And I am feeling a little bit nauseous. But it could be because I've smoked too many cigarettes. I don't know. I don't know. I do have like a little calming type feeling though that's making me paranoid. I'm not used to being calm. So if I get calm, I'm freaking out. It's like, wow, what's wrong with me? I'm honestly so high strung that, uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this. Yeah, we're not going to do that one again. Not that it wouldn't work for somebody else, but, and I didn't have my cup completely full of tea either. I had about that much from the rim. So I don't know. It's all trial and error, like with anything else. You experiment till you find just the right concoction. And as usual, before when you concoct your teas, every time you're using these herbs and putting your stuff in it, make sure you're enchanting it. You're telling it what you want it and need it to do, and waking it up. And I didn't put, all kinds of of intention into this. I wanted to see what it tasted like. I didn't want to waste it. So I don't know. But no, I don't like that. You just put it in Lipton tea? How much do you use? I mean, do you use a half a teaspoon, a tablespoon? The motivational doc said you start out with like a half a teaspoon and work your way up to a tablespoon. And I'll tell y'all too, I was telling you, it can be used for anything. You know, as women, a lot of women douche. And the main going thing is vinegar and water is the best thing to douche with. One lady on there that was talking about this even uses this. Now, she said she cleaned her private area, which I would consider doing pericare. She never said that she actually douched with it, but she did say she rinsed with it. So I'd have to ask her to elaborate, and I didn't catch the live. So, but there's another conflict. Just about every gynecologist, if not every one of them, will tell you not to douche. It's not healthy for your system, that your female things, they clean themselves out. This too is good for yeast. So if you have a yeast infection, that would be a good time to maybe douche with it or wash, the peri area. Because, a lot of times yeast infections will cause you to itch. Well, that'll calm down the itching. It has those properties in it to get rid of yeast. So that's the main reason, I guess, everybody used plain vinegar. But I don't know if that's just the vinegar in it doing it, or if it's a combination of everything in there. I don't know. But it can be used for everything. Scalp, you can use it as a hair rinse. Put it on your hair after you wash it, and make sure it gets down in your scalp real good. It helps dandruff. I mean, this is like a little miracle liquid. Literally everything it can be used for. Toenail fungus. You can pour some in a little basin and soak your feet in it. Yeah. Put it on your animals to get rid of ticks. I mean, there's just so many. It depends on how much I'm making. Like if I'm making a jug, I put about, yeah. I'm just making cup tea only. Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the apple cider vinegar. Just per se, how much would you use, like just in 1 cup of tea? I don't think it's not the apple cider vinegar that's overwhelming me. I mean, I can taste it, but I think I should have left the garlic out. There's really not that much garlic in there. I just put, 1 little clove. Of course, that's enough for, 1 pot of tea. I still have probably another cup, half a cup in there in the pan, but I'm going to throw it out. I don't want it. It's a little overwhelming, and I just can't figure out what's doing it. And a little too sweet. I don't know. And I didn't even drink that much of it. But I don't like it. Not saying it's apple cider vinegar. I'm saying it's maybe the combination of it all. No, I have menopause. I don't have to bother with that anymore, actually. Menopause don't have anything to do with you douching, though, darling. Or maybe getting a yeast infection. That don't have anything to do with anything. In fact, you're more apt to get yeast infections after menopause. Yeah. Candida. The Candida yeast. Yeah, menopause don't have anything to do with that. My grandma, she was the one. She was only with one man her whole life, and they weren't together very long. So you can, just imagine how very little she actually had sex. And after she was divorced, she never remarried, and she never. I mean, she was just that type of woman. She was a devout Christian, and she just didn't do that sort of thing. And as she got older, a lot of things can cause you to have yeast infections. Um, Foods, powder, blah, blah, blah. There's so many. But she ended up with a yeast infection in the nursing home. And no, before she went in the nursing home. And so I told her about the Monistat and blah, 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 and showed her how to use it. Well, she didn't like that idea any at all, because you got to fill up that applicator and then insert it and then push it through there to dispense the medicine into the canal. And she did not like that idea at all. Well, I'm not putting nothing up there. Grandma, you have to, you know. I mean, they could give you diflucan, but or some people pronounce it diflucan. Um, the oral pill, but I never used in tea. Used 22. Never used it in tea. Used it to clean the house. Used it for fleas. I've never drank. Oh, okay. And I remember hearing about this a long time ago too. It's supposedly really good for weight loss, which is what caught my attention anyway because of our diet thingy we've got going on here. Yeah. So that caught my attention that it burns belly fat. So that just really made me want to go for it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's all psychosomatic because now I'm just not feeling. Of course, I am a little tired and I didn't eat. Um, I'm trying to think of what I ate today. What did I eat? I cheated earlier, way earlier, and ate uh, it's one of them little Debbie cakes, peanut butter something. But I honestly don't remember eating it all today. Just a little bit more water and threw about 2 of your tea bags in with it. Don't waste it. Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. Just add more water. And then maybe put a uh, little teaspoon. I don't know. Yeah, because I don't like wasting stuff, but I don't want to pour what I've already drank back in there either or mix my spit with it. Because it'll sit, and the more, if you have spit down in there, it's going to already start digesting that food. I used to get so mad at these mothers that, now here's a pet peeve of mine, and I can prove it, and I can show you a little experiment to do to prove I'm right. These mothers that, get the baby food jars, and they got their spoon, and they're feeding their baby. Well, the baby gets done eating or whatever, and they put the lid back on, say a half a jar or whatever's left. They put that lid back on it and stick it in the refrigerator to give it to them the next day. Well, if you pull out that jar of baby food and you look on the top of it, you're probably going to see about that much what you would think is water. That's not water, it's spit. And the whole time it's been sitting in there, it's been digesting that baby food. Now, if you don't believe me, try taking the baby food out of the jar, putting it in a little bowl, and feeding the baby that way. Put your lid back on your baby food, put it in the refrigerator, and I guarantee you that watery film will not be on that baby food when you take it back out the next day. And that's because every time you put that spoon in the mouth, you put it back in that jar and keep repeating that process. You're putting saliva down in that baby food jar. Just saying. You know what? I never did that. I just put it on me too. Unless it was something I knew that yeah, me too. Me and my kids could eat, but when they started like getting older and I'd get a fruit, edging and meat, I would just take it out. Yeah. That's what I did. And, I was one of those mothers, I was raised, there was probably baby food when I was a baby, but not like it is nowadays. All these different kinds and all these different cereals. I ate table food. I'm sure my mama didn't put like tons of salt and pepper on it, but I ate mashed potatoes and smashed up. She'd make a big old pot of red beans, and she'd smash them beans up real good and pour some of the juice in there and feed it to me. Didn't kill me. I have no allergies. Grew up really healthy. I did have ear infections a lot, but I think that was hereditary. My grandma had them real bad too, and so did my daddy. But as for being a healthy child, I was very healthy, Nowadays, you got all these parents, oh, we got to give them this and we got to give them that. I understand being a protective parent, especially, with your little baby, but you're not helping them. Babies need to get dirty. They need to get into things. They need to eat different things so their body can adjust to stuff. You don't develop an immune system not having anything for it to fight. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to break. They're pretty tough little creatures right out of the womb. They're fragile, but yet very, very tough too. So, I don't know. Everybody believes differently. Like with all the different diets, it'll drive you crazy trying to figure out how to, because most people want to eat right and they want to do right. But I'm telling you, I think it just really doesn't matter what you do. I know people that have never smoked a cigarette in their life, that worked out every day, that, eat right, end up with cancer, heart attacks. My little sister's one of them. One could almost understand me having one. I'm a smoker from hell. But she's never smoked. She exercises every single day. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I splurged this month and I got a new tarot. I think I seen. Didn't you do a video on it? What was the name of it? The tarot deck. Maybe it'll. It's right on the tip of my tongue. The one I watched anyway, and it was just here recently. Man, I have no money at all left, so there ain't nothing to splurge. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, guys, this gal on a Facebook page, excuse me, I know money's really tight for everybody right now, but usually we do try to help our fellow witches out. She makes this beautiful jewelry, and I told her I would share it. The Crow Tarot, yeah. Yeah, I think I watched that video. Anyway, she makes this beautiful jewelry. You just have to see it. It's got all different kinds of stones, and usually it's either wrapped in copper or silver. She's really good. And her name is Sheila Ruiz. Ruiz, and she's on Facebook. If anybody would want to, and it's actually pretty cheap for what it's probably worth. I asked her about one pendant, but I mean, you can tell by looking at it, it's excellent work, and it's a lot of work. You just have to ask her the prices on some of them. No, because I just got it right before I got COVID. Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I just seem to remember you either telling me about it or doing a video. I have a picture of the back of that card in my head. Are they light, like it has a lighter background with a crow on it? I don't know. I don't know why I remember something like that. Ugh. Yeah, we're not going to do that again. Like I said, maybe if I had eaten, it may not have. I mean, I don't feel horrible. I just don't feel right. But then I never do. I never do. I don't know, Lady Blind Wolf. I thought I had seen that, but I guess not. Yeah, I just have my Witch's Tarot. I know it, and if I ever got another deck, I would buy the Rider-Waite. Tarot, just because it's one of the older ones, and I just really like it. Of course, I'd get a bunch of them, but I don't need like 50 tarot decks. Lady Blind Wolf, Aiden, and probably a million other witches out there. I'm bad about that though. I'll spend some money on witchy stuff now. But to me, it's worth it. It's what I enjoy. And I actually, at the grocery store the other day, I wanted to get Hecate persimmon, or not a persimmon, a pomegranate. And usually they always have them at our Walmart. This time they didn't. I thought, that's about right. When I actually think about it and I'm there, then they don't have it. So next time I'm going to I did get garlic though. She likes garlic. But I don't even have an altar set up. There I go, overthinking again. But yeah, I don't particularly care for that. I just drink. Feeling a little nauseous. I think honestly, truly, it's because I didn't eat. And I don't remember eating anything but that little peanut butter thing all day. So that could be it too. And I just thought about it. Sometimes I truly forget to eat. People say, "How do you forget to eat?" Well, I just do. Especially when I was working all the time. I'd get home and I'd be real tired and feeling yuckier than usual. I'm like, why do I feel so bad? I didn't work any harder today than normal, but then I figure out, oh, I didn't eat. I didn't eat all day. I didn't eat lunch. Work a 16-hour shift and, there's no time to eat. Or you eat and you get too full and then you're sluggish and you can't be as fast and do your job as sufficiently. So I just skip eating. So I don't know. I think I'm a little warm too. It's hot in here. I don't know, guys. I think it's all, psychosomatic. I'm kind of paranoid about putting certain, new things in my body. I don't know. But I do put forth an effort to try to, do things that are good for me. And there's nothing like detoxing. Even the ancient Chinese people will tell you it's really good to fast. Go 24 hours, 48 even, without eating anything. Make sure you drink your water and that's it. It's good for cleansing toxins out of your body. But you just hear so many different opinions, about everything. So you really have to do your own research and know what's good for you, or decide what's good for you, what you can handle, what you can't. It's okay. There's just nobody else on here. I don't know what to say. I told y'all about what's her name. Oh, and there was something else I was going to share. What was it? Oh, I don't know if I mentioned in my earlier herb videos. I know I did one on, or maybe I didn't, on milk thistle. As everybody knows, they have milk thistle in pill form at your Walmart and your pharmacies and blah, blah, blah. Well, I never really knew what it was used for. Milk thistle is a weed. But evidently, it's given to people in high dosages with liver issues. Even in the medical community, it's been proven to help heal the liver. Now, if other than your brain, of course, well, every organ has its specific task, and they're pretty much a miracle in themselves. But your liver is the only organ in your body that will regenerate and heal itself. No other organ will do that. So if someone ends up with cirrhosis, of the liver, or, some other issue with your liver, other than, your hips, Usually HEP's contracted in certain manners, but the end result is usually the same. You have your cirrhotic livers, your hardening, and it even tries to heal itself through that, but it just can't overcome. Now, Hep C you can live with. You can have it for the rest of your life. It doesn't ever go away, but there is medications that nowadays that at least keep it at bay to where you can live with it for a very long time. Now, your Hep B is contractable, and it'll make you really sick, but usually, most people get over it. But, and of course, everybody knows about Hep A. It's not really even on a whole lot of the big scales because it's not, it's important, but not to the point to where, you just have to research it. But, anyway, if your liver gets to the point to where it can't heal itself, you're probably too far gone. And your liver, in case anybody don't know, is an extremely, extremely important organ. It's the one, it's the sorter and the sponge. It soaks up all them toxins and poisons and gets rid of them and disperses, things throughout the rest of your body on down through the digestive tract that without it, that's why people with liver issues become toxic. They develop full-blown toxemia, and that's not good because the gases and every single thing in your body that the liver usually regulates out isn't getting out, and so you're slowly being poisoned. Yeah, eventually your kidneys are overwhelmed and they stop working too. So it's really important you take care of that liver. It can take a lot of abuse. It sure can. I mean, I've known full-blown alcoholics, that drink at least a fifth of whiskey every day and have for years, and somehow they still got a liver. But it's not just the drinking, it's medications. What people don't realize, especially these painkillers, they're really hard on your liver. I mean, Tylenol, ibuprofen even, of course, it takes a lot and then, constant abuse and use for them to become that toxic. But everybody's different. One might be toxic to something and another person may not be. Everybody's different. So all you can do is, do the best you can do, but sometimes that's not even good enough. Like I said, I know health nuts that work out all the time, eat perfectly, and all this stuff, and they end up with cancer, and your next person that don't eat at all is out drinking at the bar every day, lives to be 103. It's kind of like a crapshoot. You can just do the best you can do, I guess. I mean, my first husband's grandparents, well, she had a gravy boat full of melted bacon grease. And that's literally what they poured all over all their food. Didn't matter what it was. I don't care if she made boiled squash. There was bacon grease going on in her plate. And I think HJ lived to be, God, he was 99 or 100. I think Irene died at 89. They ate that way their whole lives. Now, if I did that, I'd be dead in a year. But I already have heart issues and I already have blockages and shit. So, I mean, I don't know. One person might smoke 3 packs of cigarettes a day and, not ever have a lung issue. And A person that's never smoked a cigarette in their life may develop lung cancer. Crapshoot, I tell you. We can only do the best we can do. But yeah, this also, like I said, called for honey. So maybe the honey in it would be better than the actual sugar. I think next time I will leave out the garlic. I cook with garlic all the time. I have plenty of garlic every day, so I'm not worried about that. I would not put the lemon in it just simply because of the acidity. A lot of people do that. It's in this recipe, but that apple cider vinegar is already very acidic. So you would not want to probably put lemon in there to make it worse, especially if you have any sort of stomach issue. I know they say, put acid in there and it helps an acidic stomach. I don't know how they come to that conclusion. I'm not a doctor, but I know it makes no sense to me, but they're the doctors. I think next time I will. One guy uses pineapple juice, which that's going to be acidic too. Not so bad. Any of your fruit juices are going to have acid in them. They're vitamin C. It's acidic. So what do you do? I don't know. Trial and error. Here I have like 5 different concoctions, and I'll probably end up just throwing a tablespoon in an 8-ounce glass of water and hurrying up and guzzling it down real fast, getting it over with. Yeah. Yeah, now that even smelling that makes me want to barf. That I did something wrong or put too much or did something there. I don't like it. Anyway, that milk thistle is extremely good for helping the liver regenerate itself. They did specifically say people with cirrhosis and any type of jaundice, they will give them milk thistle or recommend them take milk thistle. So I didn't know that till tonight. I mean, I knew milk thistle was pretty good. It's another weed that's good for you. Just like dandelion, but I don't know. So you're not still running a fever or anything, right, Lady Blind Wolf? I hope not. I didn't, speaking of fish oil too, I didn't take my fish oil tonight. I just noticed because I didn't eat and I won't take it on an empty stomach. That's another thing, guys. If you're taking a multivitamin, any vitamin, now some of them are water soluble, but 90% of the time, I will say, it is way better to take your vitamins with food. It helps them pass through the digestive tract easier. They absorb easier. I don't know how to pronounce that. Area trance. Hello. How are you? So I don't know. I mean, everybody, y'all can all do your research and see what's up, and good. Glad to hear it. Oh, okay. Are you going to exercise? Area Trance, we were talking about the benefits of apple cider vinegar tonight, and I tried it, and it's pretty rough. The way I made it, anyway. I think my recipe for it, I put too much or did something, but I got to readjust it to where it's not so yucky. I can't get through the cup of it. I'm bound and determined to get on me though, because it's got so many good benefits to it. I put too much ginger or probably garlic. I don't know. I'm not liking it. So, well, what do y'all want to talk about? I've already told y'all that my experiment failed. I am. I have some plans, but I hate to talk about them because I don't want to jinx me. Y'all know how I am about that. I'm afraid if I say, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, then it doesn't get done. But I've got to. That's one thing I was going to do tonight. Is, take my computer in my room and put something to listen to on and get somewhere cleaned out in there to where I can set her altar up. I really miss having the altar. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know. That stuff kind of made me a little nauseous. I may have to lay down. I probably need to eat. Like I said, I think it's because I didn't eat. But this stuff is so good for you. Area Trance, have you ever tried apple cider vinegar? Any topics are cool. Just passing time. I was getting into planetary. Oh, yeah? How interesting. I guess I kind of use planetary magic all the time in my own way. I don't know. I drank a bunch of it. Oh, you did? Whew. Why? I know why. But I mean, what do you mean a bunch? Do you feel better? Had you ever drank it before? Are you just starting to drink it? I've been doing a lot of research on it. It's really good for you. It's good for a lot of things. I made a concoction tonight that I don't think all of it mixed together was very good. I was younger and it just tasted good. Oh yeah, it felt great. I don't know. Of course I didn't drink it straight. Maybe, and they tell you not to because it's real acidic and it'll, mess up your throat. It'll eventually burn your throat. But I think next time I'll put it in like a glass of water. Maybe with tea, I did half and half. Well, see, that's what I did tonight. I got regular black Pico tea, and I used like one little clove of garlic, and probably I don't know, between about a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of ginger, pure ginger root, and I boiled all that together and let it set for about an hour, and then I was going to use honey, but I didn't have any honey, so I had to use regular sugar. And then I put like a teaspoon of the apple cider vinegar in there and attempted to drink it all. No, can't do it. Not that way. But I'm trying to lose a little bit of weight. I never in my life thought I'd say that, but because I was always so skinny. But I'm fat now, and I really need to lose some weight. And it's good for so many other things too. I mean, it's like a wonder liquid, you know. So I'm going to really try hard to find a way that I can take some of it every day for, you know, for my benefit. I just don't know how I'm going to get it down me. I was telling Lady Blind Wolf, I think tomorrow I'm just going to, get an 8-ounce glass of water and put like a tablespoon in there, stir it up real good, and just drink it down real fast. I don't know. And leave all the other out. Because I cook with so many of these herbs all the time anyway. I'm getting those other herbs. I'm just not getting the apple cider vinegar. So people swear by it though, so I'm going to try it. I've been aiming to try it for a long time. I just never have bought it when I went to the store. And I got, I got the good old raw with the mother in it and all that. So I'm bound and determined to get it down somehow. I just don't know how. So you don't drink it anymore, but you have tried it? I mean, did you have a specific reason that you wanted to start it? I mean, were you doing it for a specific thing like weight loss or unclogging arteries or one of the thousands it was good it's good for? Whatever works for you. I've been getting into cooking steak with different seasonings. Oh yeah. Yeah. I was never much of a steak eater. Not that I didn't enjoy steak, but after I went through all my cancer crap and when I was younger, a lot of things, and my teeth got bad, and no drugs, but just a lot of health problems. My teeth finally started going away, so it was hard for me to chew anything like that anyway. It just tasted good, but I have not had it in a while. We'll see, since it sounds good. You like it? Of course, like I said, I didn't taste it by itself. Helps detox, yeah. That was one of the main purposes. It helps everything. I mean, I can't think of nothing it's not good for. Inside your body, outside your body, you can use it, put some on a cotton ball and put it on your face to cleanse your pores. It gets rid of toenail fungus. You can put it on your pet, your dog, to get rid of fleas. And you can clean your windows with it. I don't know. It's good for everything, so it's excellent to have around. I'm just going to have to get to where I can find some way I can ingest it. And yeah. You can put it on, it gets rid of ticks and fleas. Yep. I guess you're supposed to pour some in your soapy water, I guess depending on the size of your dog, you may have to use quite a bit, and of course, most people can't bathe a cat. So, and cats don't usually get ticks, but I don't know. But yeah, I've been researching it for days, and I mean, there's so literally hundreds and hundreds of ways to use this. Now I knew regular vinegar was good for a lot of stuff, especially cleaning and sterilizing stuff, but I just never clicked about the apple cider vinegar. So Tomorrow I'll do something different. You say you just drink it straight. You're not supposed to do that. It's real acidic. You need to at least dilute it in about 8 ounces of water per tablespoon. Or I guess you could take the tablespoon right fast and then wash it down real fast with water. I don't know. I still don't think it's a good idea to have it on your throat like that. Love herbs, just need to find space. I have an apartment and collect a lot. Yeah, I understand. Um, I've been staying with a friend of mine now for, um, well, going on 2 years, and there's really no room here either. All my stuff's in storage and all my herbs, except the ones I've ordered since I've been here. I do have some, like my all-purpose herb, my mugwort. I always have mugwort on hand. But, yeah. And I've pretty much been sick ever since I moved here, so, I mean, just everything kinda went to hell. I mean, it's getting better now. My mind's getting better, so I'm doing better, so I can't really complain. Now I just need to lose some of this weight and, feel better again. Call it COVID fat. Blame it on COVID. I don't know, but I read about this, so I thought, well, I'm going to try that. It ain't going to hurt to try it. And I've really usually always eaten healthy, and I love herbs in my food, spices, and so I'm always looking, and for new ideas on stuff to cook. I mean, I'm pretty much an old woman, so I've cooked a lot of stuff in my time. It can be hard finding balance. I like space, but I'm careful where things are placed. It isn't filled up, but the challenge is maintaining it. Right. Yep. I like stuff, but I don't like clutter. Does that make sense? Everything in its place. Of course, I'm Virgo, so there you have it. I have to be organized, or my whole world's flipped upside down, which it has been for the last almost 2 years, or actually even longer. It started before that, but um, I can't make my candles, and I just don't have the room to do it here in somebody else's house. So I don't know. It's looking up though. It's going to get better. It's going to get better. So, and everything I do buy, I have to pack up. Now I've bought stuff since I've been here, and now it's stacked up in there in my little bedroom that I have. And every time I walk through there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't stand this mess. It's not really a terrible mess, but it's not like me. So it kind of freaks me out a little bit, but I think Hecate's put me through all this, so I'm learning something somewhere. I'm Cancer, still reading into astrology and prepare Vedic, June 22nd, 297. Is that your birthday, area trance? And I don't guess I know what Vedic is. So you're like 26, fixing to be 26. It's an Eastern system. Oh, okay. Close to it, yeah. Uh, that's interesting. See, maybe you can teach me something. mean, I'm an old witch. I'm pretty set in my ways, but I always like at least learning about other things, whether I use them or not. I have knowledge of them. And I like that. Do you have your own channel? I find Sarion's research useful. He stated a lot of the Western mythos moved east, so our old traditions are based in whole other places. Oh, okay. That's your primary? Okay. Well, I'll go check you out then. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about that stuff. Now you mentioned Hecate or Greek mythology and Greek ways and Egypt and stuff like that, and I'm pretty versed on it. I think it's just really cool to learn other systems and ways. Like I said, I may not use them because I'm pretty old. I'm pretty set in my ways, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it is my motto. But it doesn't mean that I may not use stuff one day. Who knows? So it doesn't hurt to learn every day. So I will. I'll go check out your channel. I did a really long video last night. I had a lot more people on here, so I probably wore them out. They're not coming on here tonight. But normally I don't come on till like 3 in the morning. So um, that may have a lot to do with it too. Thanks. Irish tradition has been very interesting. And see, that's weird because I'm Irish. I'm Irish and Indian. And but I mean a lot more Irish. And I know very little about Irish mythology. I follow Bridget, or honor her, should I say. Uh, but I just felt, drawn to her. It wasn't because I was per se Irish or anything. I mean, my mama, she's a Fitzpatrick. Yeah, that would be all very interesting for me to learn. Um, I'll tell you, I don't know why this just occurred to me. Well, it just came through my viewfinder here. But I had someone ask me in an email. It's been a while back, but I totally forgot to answer it, and I hope that don't sound rude, but sometimes I'm just very forgetful. But someone was asking me, about finding a companion that when you're a witch or walking this path, it's kind of hard to find somebody that matches your aura or your light. And she was like, I'm afraid to tell anybody, that I'm a witch. And I told her, I said, you're just gonna have to look back through my other videos because I have mentioned that several times, on finding somebody that is like you or believes like you do. I still need to read the Arthurian myths. I believe the sword. Oh yeah, I'll see. That's one of my favorite things, King Arthur. As the spinal cord reach up to heaven or the mind, it glows with power due to Kundalini. Wow. You're pretty open-minded, huh? You actually had a rant about that lately? Well, you can't help who you fall in love with or who you're attracted to, but if you're not compatible, you're not compatible. I mean, I've known of people that were very much in love with each other but could not stand to live together. They couldn't be around each other for very long at a time because their energies just don't match. Oh yes, I enjoy comparative mythology. Yeah, me too. And if you look at all the mythologies, they all resemble each other. You just got different names, different stories, you know. But in the long run, they all boil down to the same thing, the creation of man and the demigods and what have you. It's all the same all the way around. It makes you wonder, how people just automatically thought that up, or if, how could they not have really existed if people are writing stories and books about them thousands of years later, Gematria connects a bunch of it too. See, I don't even know these words you're saying. I could learn a lot from you. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not the dumbest crayon in the box, but I'm not the smartest either when it comes to all this stuff. And there's a lot of new things out. I mean, I hear some witches talk about some wild stuff now. I'm like, wow, I've never heard of that. Numerology, just a fancy word. Yeah. Yeah. They use that to figure out how to build a spaceship to go into outer space. Everything's about numbers in one way or the other. I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to have like a get together, like a witches camp. Not necessarily like your typical little kid send your kid off to summer camp thing, but a place, that a bunch of witches could gather for a couple of weeks out of every year and talk and compare and do rituals, and it would be out in the country somewhere where we could all go on stone and gem hunts and herbal hunts and um, just kind of be amongst ourselves for a while and out in our element. um, Take a break, a retreat, a witchy retreat type thing. But I'm telling you, when I had been thinking about a lot of this stuff long before, well, before COVID hit, and then COVID hit and everything went to hell. All plans were put aside, but I do realize, we'd all have to meet in the middle somewhere, or I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. But stuff like you're talking about, you could stand up and give a little class on it, and that's how we learn. That's how we learn each other, by by conversing and listening to each other. So I think it's neat. Yeah, that's true. I'm outstanding in my views, but Southern U.S. people are nuts. Hey, I'm from the South. Yeah, some of them are pretty radical and, way the hell out there. Um, even some of the witches that, I wonder if they're even witches, to be honest. Some of them I wouldn't claim. They just come with some of the most stupid off the wall stuff that I'm pretty accepting, as a witch. We are all pretty open, but some of this is just absolutely ridiculous. It's not even worth my energy. So a lot of them I don't even talk to. They annoy me. Of course, like I said, I'm an old crone, so I get a little crabby sometimes, and I just, maybe a little stubborn because I'm set in my ways. I understand, but I do try to learn other things. I really do try to be open. It's just some of the things that I hear about are just absolutely ridiculous. And you're right, there is a lot of political bullshit going on in this world right now. I've always wanted to go to Greece so bad, and you know, at one time I had the money to go. I had a friend over there I could have stayed with. Um, all kinds of plans made, and something just told me not to go. You know, and it wasn't too long after that. All this other crap started going on, and COVID hit, and just everything fell apart. And I would have been okay over there, but getting from point A to point B might have been an issue. You know, I mean, you can't go and visit anywhere anymore because everybody hates each other. Well, that's all you hear about anyway. It doesn't mean everybody's that way, but that's pretty much all you hear about anymore on the news. I hate watching the news. Every time I turn around, it's just something bad. I just got told I was demon possessed for having such sexual interests too. I couldn't stop laughing. Yeah, the world is sad. Yeah. Well, you know, I guess we learn just to walk our own path, and a lot of us walk alone because we don't care what people think. I don't intentionally wake up every morning and go, okay, who can I hurt today? I don't. I'm not hateful. I try to take care of the earth. I try to take care of the animals. I try to do my job as a witch. Um, but I'm also kind of a zero tolerance person too. I don't deal with shittery very well, as the Irish would say. I don't like shenanigans. Well, I do if they're fun shenanigans, not destructive shenanigans. Most channels run off a central script. Yeah. And when I started my YouTube channel, I had been watching and hearing a bunch of stuff, and I thought, well, you're an old witch. Come on and teach them the right way. You know, there's really no right way. It's like teaching them my way, how I was taught or how I learned the very basics, and then you go from there. And I'll tell you, there's been some drama, and I try really hard to stay out of that mess. And a lot of times I'll just get on here and talk to people because it's enjoyment to me. I enjoy talking to people that are like-minded like I am, and you never know who you can meet on here. I mean, granted, there are some bad ones out there, but I'm a firm believer there's more good in this world than there is bad. It just seems that that's all we hear about are the bad. And it needs to be stopped. They're in cahoots with BlackRock symbolism of the Saturn cube too. They use all sorts of planetary magic at the higher levels. Well, yeah. Hello, Illuminati. Freemasons. Um, all kinds of societies that have been around for friggin' centuries. Yeah, good is all over the place too. Great point. It really is. It's like anything else. Is I guess it depends on how you look at stuff. Yeah, master builders, and that can be used as like a metaphor too. I'm a firm believer that the Knights Templar kind of merged into some of those. I don't know. Just my opinion. But there's just so many opinions and so many ways. So you pretty much just have to kind of take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you stir them all in a pot and see how it works for you. If it don't work, you take this out. It's like cooking a good fine meal. You work with it until it's to your taste. I like a lot of their symbols. The center pillar is a grand image to meditate upon. Yeah, yeah. And it's really odd too how often the pentagram is used in different societies other than witchcraft. I was watching a documentary on the Freemasons just night before last, and they had were in one of their temples underground or something where they feel that the Knights Templar had been hiding, and there was pentagrams all over the place. And no, they weren't the Star of David; they were pentagrams. There is a difference. Council of Nicaea and up the Catholic Church, even yep. Yeah, that Council of Nicaea is one thing they mentioned in that documentary I was watching. 5 wounds of Christ. The cross was after 400 AD. Yeah. Well, I don't go that far into it. I mean, I know, I don't know. A lot of it's pretty interesting history though. I mean, the Knights Templar pretty much created our very first banking system, which pissed the church off because the church wasn't getting the money and the king. And so the king sent out death warrants for them all, kill them all. I don't really like the symbol of the crux, but it has its place. Yeah. Uh, I guess in the beginning, the Knights Templar were created for a good cause. It depends on who you talk to, but their main job in the beginning was to protect the Holy Grail, which there's many opinions on what that is, and the Ark of the Covenant. Um, that could be a whole different discussion and video. But that sort of thing really interests me. Um, how it was back then, and how different the personality of the king would change worlds. Because a lot of them didn't do what was right; they did what made them feel better, what benefited themselves. They didn't give a shit about their kingdom, which makes them not very good kings in my eyes. But and then you had your good ones. It was all about the church. The church just really, I'm sorry, but they have really screwed a lot of things up. Uh, not, and I'm not saying each individual Christian per se, but the church as a whole, especially back then, was pretty greedy. I truly think it is both an energy device and a metaphor for the brain being centered, the ark. You think? Huh. Could be. Uh, Now, the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark of the Covenant, uh, I have often wondered what really would be inside there. What would be so important that men would literally die to protect it. Now, the Holy Grail, I know a lot of people think of it as a chalice, and a lot of people think it is the chalice that Jesus Christ drank out of during the Last Supper and shared with his disciples. But now, I don't know why I believe this way, but I think it's something totally different. A grail is something that holds something, precious something. Um, that could very easily have been the womb of Mary that held Jesus, this daughter of Jesus Christ. So Mary's uterus pretty much could have been considered the Holy Grail. Menstrual blood, yep. Female principle, the triangle upside down too, yep. Um, you know, a lot of the Christians won't understand, which they're taught not to question. They're taught, not to ask anything. But you have to realize, Jesus Christ was a man. He was a normal young man. You know, um, he had feelings. He had urges. Um, and it doesn't surprise me one bit when people tell me that he was actually married to Mary Magdalene and that they had a child together. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And the Knights Templar knew about this child and had been protecting her and the bloodline of Christ this whole time. And it's even been so far to be said that his daughter's name was Sarah, which back in them days, Sarah was a pretty popular name. There was a lot of women named Sarah back then. Intriguing connection to Mary. Yep. I mean, if you really delve into it, some people make it more um, mysterious than it has to be when it was probably something very simple and not unlike what we ourselves as human beings do to this day. As a whole, we're all the same. And more than likely, we all have the same thoughts. It just depends on how we react to those thoughts, what we do with those thoughts, um, how we maintain our thoughts. I mean, we're all the same creatures, you know. So just think, all you got to think about is how the common sense part of it, the going back to the basics of mankind. It doesn't take, all these scientists and people with IQs, outstanding proportion to figure out that Jesus was a normal blood pumping man. Why wouldn't he be married? Why wouldn't he have sex? Why wouldn't he have a child? What is so unusual about that? Nothing. But because he was the son of God, he was supposed to be, uh, perfect, I guess. He wasn't perfect. He would be the first to have told you he was not perfect. I love talking about this stuff. You know, a lot of witches, they hear the word Jesus Christ and they're like, oh, can't do that. I'm not that way. I was raised in church. My grandmother raised me in church. She was a very devout Christian woman. I don't have a problem with Jesus Christ at all. There's no doubt he existed. What I do end up with a problem with is his followers wanting to crucify everybody that don't believe like they do, but yet they're taught in their book not to be that way. No, you're not supposed to do that. I ain't getting into all that. But I mean, my grandmother, uh, she just wasn't that type of person. She didn't put anybody down. She didn't tell them how to live. You know, if you asked her, she'd tell you. But she didn't walk around judging people. She loved everybody, you know. Red Mercury, maybe. Huh. Reading the Bible got me into the occult. I have the same issue with the cult mentality of Christian. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you know, that's like anything else though. You'll meet some really good Christians and then you'll meet some that just will make you sick. It's like you're the reason nobody wants to go into Christianity because of you, because of people like you. And then you meet the people like my grandmother was that she was just a sweetheart, you know. Had a temper. She's Irish, but she was a sweetheart. I mean, it all boils down to sociology, you know. Um, everybody wants to be right as a whole, as a collective, as a human being. Everybody wants to be right. Everybody wants their way to be the only way, you know. And that's one thing that I love about the craft and I always have. I go my own way. If you choose to follow me, that's fine. If you choose not to, that's fine too. I will still walk this path with or without you. I walk this path because it's the one that feels right to me. It is the one that's comfortable to me and makes more sense to me. You too, sweetie. Thanks for coming on and chatting with me. I appreciate you. We're gonna have to talk more, and I'm gonna check out your videos because you seem like a very intelligent person. I might learn a few things from you, but you have a good night. Yeah, I like it when we talk about things like this because and and on a good tone, an even tone. I ain't here to bash anybody or you know their beliefs. That isn't my issue. It only becomes my issue when it's being pushed on me or you know I'm being belittled for my own beliefs. So, but you know that's just how mankind's always been, and they always will be. So, I mean, all we can do every day of our life is try to be the best people we can be, no matter what path you're walking. You know, as long as you're a good person, you don't intentionally go out there and hurt people. You try your very best to make a good spot in this earth. You know, I mean, I don't. It doesn't matter to me who you're with or who your god or goddess is. You know, as long as you treat me kindly and as a human being, then I'll do the same. It doesn't matter where you come from, what color you are. I don't care. You get back what you give to me. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and go and thank y'all for coming on with me and my apple cider vinegar trial, which, as I said, I'm going to do something different. I am going to get this down. I really am. So I'll let y'all in on my little experiments and I will talk to y'all another time. Blessed be.